looking for weapons, mainly guns and drugs. Now, the NYPD spokesperson was telling me that pretty much what they did is they had a K-9 unit walk up and down between the beds, and they had several what they call hits, which means that a dog found what's likely a weapon or drugs inside a bag. They wouldn't say how many hits or bags that they confiscated, but they took those bags, and then they are now going to obtain a search warrant to look inside those bags.
Now, when they found out what was in those bags, come to find out that they were guns, there was fentanyl. They also had a bunch of cars. I'm trying to figure out, how do migrants get cars when they don't even have jobs or a mean for living? Or they had a whole bunch of cars that were parked in the parking lot that they went through. They found out that a lot of them were ghost vehicles with fake ghost plates. They also found out that there were more weapons inside of certain caravans and vehicles that were in the cars. Found out a lot of crap. So you're bringing people into the country, you're not vetting them, and you got situations of why they're not being vetted is because they're ditching their identification. There's different cartels that are telling them to throw away the ID so that when they cross the border, they can pick any name that they want, and then they can come into the country as that person. They get to their connection and they start committing crimes. So I'm not trying to say everybody is doing that, but there's a lot, and these are certain instances where we can look at what's happening and how they're going about it. And then we have certain sanctuary cities out here that are protecting people, which is fantastic to protect people. I'm not trying to say don't protect people and don't, look out for your citizens that are in your city. But at the same time, you have to protect the people that are already there. So being a sanctuary city doesn't always help, does it?
Two migrants reportedly arrested in New York City. As part of that major bust on Wednesday, the men are said to have ties to TDA, the violent Venezuelan gang, and the two are reported to be part of a group accused of threatening tenants at an apartment in Aurora, Colorado. Meanwhile, in Chicago, city officials warning its police officers to be careful when encountering suspected TDA members. Congressman Nick Langworthy on his take on the migrant crisis earlier this morning. Watch.
It is just a continuation of what we've seen time and again, with the migrant crisis finding its way right onto New York City's doorstep, and it's our sanctuary city policies of Kathy Hochul to blame. We have, now we have a new series of questions: is how did they end up in New York? Was this part of the, the failed Biden-Harris agenda?
We have team.
So again, we have Chicago, which is a sanctuary city. We've got New York City. We've got Los Angeles, which is a sanctuary city. We've got San Diego. We've got San Francisco and certain other places. A lot of them are democratic cities which protect people who should not be protected. Okay, where we at with this? Okay, let's get off the sanctuary cities and the migrants for a little while, and let's get into a little bit of the Harris campaign, who are blaming the press and the press companies for bad questions for her interview snafus. She's basically trying to say the reason why she had issues with her interviews is because of the press. She's blaming it on us, y'all. And Joe Rogan trying to say that she didn't want to go to Joe Rogan because she had no time to do it, which is crazy. But let's see what they're talking about on this part.
So when you want to give like an interview after, give a post-mortem, you think you would go to a traditional media outlet? That way they can ask some, tough questions. Instead, the Obama crew that ran Kamala Harris' campaign went to the Obama Bros, which were the speechwriters, the comms team.
Pod Save America.
Pod Save America. And this is what they had to say.
We would do an interview, and the questions were small and processy and about
dumb.
They were not informing a voter who was trying to listen to learn more or to understand. That does a disservice